Hello, just popping in today to share a little about the Wholehearted Companion Workbook. You might be wondering why there's two books, why there's a companion workbook for Wholehearted, Self-Leadership for Women in Transition. And I just wanted to share a little bit about why the companion workbook is such an important part of the Wholehearted journey. So the two books, the Wholehearted, Self-Leadership for Women in Transition, and the companion workbook both came from the one draft. So it was a bit like a piece of marble where these two books were nestled together. And when I shared the books with Penelope Love, who helped me with editing the very first 100,000 word draft, she said, "I think you have two books." And she's absolutely right. So the main book and the workbook were carved out of that same stone. Often a workbook is mostly lines, blank lines with questions drawn from the main book, where you can explore a little bit in depth how those messages apply to you. There is that element in the Wholehearted Companion Workbook, but it's so much more. So the workbook itself is 35,000 words, around 35,000 words, so it's quite a solid piece of writing on its own. And that text, that focus in there, is around the practical applications of the messages in Wholehearted. So for example, chapter 6 covers wholehearted self-leadership skills. So there's 15 wholehearted self-leadership skills in Wholehearted that I step you through, drawn from my experiences, areas that I know work really positively for wholehearted self-leadership, for supporting yourself in change, daily practices, regular practices that can help you shift. So in the workbook, it tracks through every single chapter, including that one, exactly the same. So it's like a mirror image. But in chapter 6, each of those 15 areas are dealt with in specifics, in detail, with practical applications and exercises you can apply to your life. So I hope that helps you see how the two fit together. So I imagine the reading process will be, some people might like to read through the whole book first. There's a few prompts within the main book, and then later on go back, read more closely in more detail, and then go through the workbook itself and do the application exercises and have a really deep think about how that applies to you. Other people might like to read chapter 1 in the main book, then chapter 1 in the workbook, and work through it in a process of really deep reflection on the way through. Do whatever works for you. Everybody's different. Personally, I tend to like to read through a book first and then do any of the practical application later. But the important thing is to go back and do that work however you are reading the books. We know that there's a bit of a knowing-doing gap, that idea of knowing what we need to do, but the real change and the real self-leadership and the real positive transition happens when we do the work. And that's what the workbook's about. So I hope that helps you to understand a little bit about the two books. Pop any questions you might have into the comments. And I'm also doing a live next week too, so that's an opportunity for you to be able to follow up on that and ask any questions live or send them through in advance. So yeah, I'd love to hear about your questions about the workbook and why you might look at having the two books together, how you might work with them together, and to answering your questions. So thanks to everybody who's pre-ordered the main book and or the workbook. Don't forget to get your bonuses. They're available there for you. If you purchase one book, you get chapter 1 straight away, so you can have a look. It's got the whole contents pages there. It really gives you a good coverage of what the book's about, but takes you into chapter 1. And if you purchase two books, you also get an invitation to a live masterclass with me in early October, and that'll be an opportunity for you to get the books, to begin to read and engage with them, and then to be able to work on those 15 wholehearted self-leadership skills in more detail. So yeah, hope that's helpful. Look forward to connecting with you, and pop any questions in the comments so I can answer them for you. Take care. Thank you. Bye.